Hi everyone, today we're going to cover the basics of using the ZC1 Synth, starting with how to play it using the on-screen instruments, exploring and editing presets, and more. Let's get started. First, let's take a look at the on-screen instruments, or as I like to call it, the OSI. Depending on what device you're using Zenbeats on, the OSI will be the first thing you see. Here's a few tips to customize it. Tip number 1 is showing and hiding the pitch and mod wheel. You can do it by tapping this like so. I'm going to go ahead and hide it for now. Tip number 2 is using the hold function. If you tap the hold button here, every note you play will hold just like that until you tap the hold again to release it. Next is transposing. You have a mini display of your keys here. You can transpose by touching and sliding. You can dynamically resize it by dragging up or down. And you can also shift by octaves here, left or right. Now over to the right we have some custom size presets. So maybe you want to have it only 1 octave on the screen. Tap 1 octave, there you go. Easy as that. To the right of that we have the pad mode button. You can toggle this to change between keys and pad modes. Pad mode is good if you're playing with instruments that use drum sounds. Let's go back to keys though. And last but not least, we have some additional customization options hidden in the gear menu here. You can do things like enabling pitch bend on dragging across the keys to showing or hiding all note names, just like that. Next, let's look at ZC1's main interface. While it looks simple, you can make some huge changes to any preset right in this view. Let's start with the envelope and vibrato section. First up we have is the attack. You can turn the attack knob to the left to create a more immediate and aggressive sound. You can turn it to the right, which will soften the attack. It can be used to shape the sound into a pad or even like a reverse sound. Now, the release knob affects how long a sound plays after you release a note. Turning it to the left will cause the sound to immediately drop out as soon as you let go of the keys. Turning it to the right will let notes ring out longer and freely, and you can adjust this to any length, even to where it sounds like it's going to go on forever. Down here is vibrato. Now vibrato is going to add a slight pitch wavering, either in positive or negative value. It's going to be different per preset. I recommend using it sparingly, but it's a good way to add some quick character. Alright, over to the right we have our filter settings. For tonal shaping of the sound, the filter has you covered with cutoff and resonance controls. The cutoff is a low pass filter. Turning it to the left will make the sound darker. Turning it to the right will make it sound brighter. Now the res knob up here is going to affect the steepness or strength of the filter. Turning it to the left will create a smoother sounding cutoff, while turning it to the right will create a more intense dramatic filter effect. If you really want to have fun, you can adjust both parameters at the same time using the XY pad. And you can even record the movements of the XY pad into your pattern. Watch this. Like so. Lastly, we have the main controls that can affect the overall tone and playability of the sound. The unison will add a chorus-like preset. Now what's happening, it's actually doubling your voices in the background, but playing them at different times. You'll hear dramatic differences on some presets versus others. The next two are used hand in hand. This is mono and legato. Enabling the mono switch will take any polyphonic preset and make it monophonic, which only lets one note play at the same time. Enabling or disabling legato will change the attack of the second note being triggered. So when I let go with mono, it's like I'm hitting this note again. With legato, the note triggering is softer. Last but not least, we have portamento control. This gives you a speedy pitch effect when you're going from one note to the other. And it works in both mono and poly modes. Check this out. Pretty cool. Now, if you want to completely transform your sound, go ahead and tap on the MFX tab. Please note though, access to MFX requires the purchase of an unlock. Now, from the top down here, you can choose from up to 90 MFX. All these effects are grouped by category, so it's easy to find what you're looking for. From classic Roland filters, modulation effects such as chorus, it's really easy. There's a lot to go into here. You've got amp modeling, distortion, Roland model delays, looper plugins, limiters, pitch modulation, you name it. Let's check out a couple. We have some combination effects down here. Let's do an amp sim into a chorus. Easy as that. Just pick an effect and you have full access to customize your sound. Now, when you've taken a sound like this and you've completely made it your own, the next step is saving your preset. To do that, tap the plugin icon up here and hit Save Preset As and give it a name. Done. Well, we still have more to show you on ZC1. That's going to wrap up this video. Stay tuned for the ZC1 Advanced video coming up next.